Well, MFR, just from the start of today, we pointed out to you that the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and their defense chiefs have been holding a meeting at the national headquarters of the military. That's Burma Camp today, which we brought to you live on the Joy News channel. And today happens to be day one. We're expecting that the activities will wrap up by tomorrow. And it's got to do with the security situations happening in the West Africa sub-region. The decision by the group of West African leaders under the protocol of ECOWAS is to activate a standby force which will be deployed into the Republic of Niger. Now that's because a military junta there decided to depose the democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum. As we speak, the ECOWAS leaders want a solution to the matter, but the junta would not dialogue on the matter, and we know that that issue keeps unfolding. We're fortunate to have one man who was close to President Mohamed Bazoum. He was chief of staff at the time President Mohamed Bazoum was in office. Fortunately, he's been able to run for his life, escaped into the Republic of Ghana, and will be joining, hopefully, the military chiefs to brief them on the engagements that will be going to, unfold at Burma Camp, the military headquarters, from tomorrow when we get a briefing from the sub-regional body. Djibo Takoubakoye was the former chief of staff and the right-hand man of President Mohamed Bazoum. And the time he was in office, he was in fact in the country when the coup d'etat happened, but found a way of escaping and made his way right here into Ghana. So we're about to interact with him. Obviously, Niger is a French-speaking country, so you have to accommodate his French, and then of course we'll get to give you some translation of some of the key issues that are at stake here. Djibo Takoubakoye, you're live on the Joy News channel. The nation is listening to you right now. I don't need to ask you how you're doing, because obviously things are not too well for you and the Nigerian public. But let's start off with how you made it into Ghana. What was your story? How did you leave Niger? Even when the coup happened, when you were in that country, how did you run for your life and to make it right into the Republic of Ghana?
Thank you for everything. But before answering your question, yeah, I want to correct something.
Right.
I'm not the former chief of staff. I'm the chief of staff of the president of the Republic of Niger.
You don't accept that you've been deposed?
Mohamed Bazoum, who is still the elected president of Niger. Then is not the former president. He is the president of the Republic of Niger, the elected one. This attempt to depose him, yes, is still ongoing, and it will finish in
So you don't even accept that you've been deposed?
No. Bazoum is still the president of the Republic of Niger, recognized by all the countries in the world, except of course Mali and Burkina Faso, that are in the same situation.
But you can't go back home now because your president is no more. There's a new prime minister, there's a new cabinet.
Il n'y a pas de premier ministre, il n'y a pas de nouveau cabinet, tout ça est nul et de nul effet. Le président Mohamed Bazoum est le président de la République du Niger et le seul président de la République du Niger reconnu par tous.
So basically what he's trying to say, and for those of you who may not understand, is that they do not accept being the former chief of staff. He does not, first of all, accept that there's a new cabinet. He does not accept that there's a new president. He does not accept that there's a new leader of the Nigerian people. All he accepts right now is the fact that there is only one president in the Republic of Niger, and that is President Mohamed Bazoum, who was democratically elected. Now, I'm going to ask you about President Mohamed Bazoum, because I need to ask you how he's doing right now, how he's faring. After the coup d'etat happened, you were there trying to fight back. It didn't work, so you left, but he's being detained now. How is he feeling now as we speak?
Le président de la République va très bien. Il a le moral très haut et il est prêt à se battre pour la démocratie, pour la liberté, pour la justice au Niger. Donc le président de la République va très bien, il a le moral très très haut. Certes, les conditions de vie sont déplorables parce que depuis l'événement du 26 juillet, la junte a mis tout en œuvre pour le démoraliser, pour le faire ramener à un état réduit. Ouais. Mais c'est sans compter sur sa force morale. Donc le président de la République va très bien.
Okay, so basically he's making the point that when you talk about President Mohamed Bazoum, he's in high spirit, good spirit. In fact, morally, his morale is high. He's not down or, dampened. His spirit is not dampened by the fact that there's a new military junta that is controlling the country, except to say that he's been detained. And naturally, when you're detained, your rights are restricted. You do not have the right to move. You do not have the right to make certain natural, adjustments which he would have done when he was head of state. So that is the only confinement in which he finds himself, except to say that he still believes that he's the president of the republic and is in good spirit. I guess that's the point of what the point you're making. Now, you're saying that he's in good health. If he's in good health and is in a high morale, he's been deposed by the military junta, and we've seen the military junta receiving a lot of support. I don't know if it's just my impression, but they seem to be receiving a lot of support. You take a look at when the coup happened, they staged a rally at a stadium. And in that stadium, lots of people filling up the stadium to capacity. It does suggest that there's just something right with this coup d'etat and the military regime that is controlling. People appear to be supporting them. Is that not the case?
Sur ça, ce que je veux vous dire, d'abord, sachez que dans des situations comme ça, c'est toujours le populisme qui prend le dessus sur tout ce qui est rationnel. Alors, donc, la junte nigérienne n'a pas fait exception. Quand il y a eu le coup d'État, la vraie manifestation s'est tenue le premier jour du coup d'État. Il y avait eu une manifestation spontanée. Moi, j'étais dans la manifestation, j'avais conduit cette manifestation. C'était des milliers et des milliers de Nigériens qui étaient sortis pour dire non au coup d'État. Ils ont tiré à balles réelles sur les gens. 4 personnes étaient sévèrement blessées. C'est ce qui a démotivé les gens ce jour-là. Après, eux-mêmes, pour se donner bonne conscience, ils ont organisé un simulacre de manifestation où ils ont pris toutes les nouvelles recrues des militaires, les nouvellement recrues, et leurs familles qu'ils ont habillées en t-shirt. Certains d'ailleurs n'ont pas eu le temps de se déshabiller, d'enlever leur habit militaire pour mettre leur habit civil quand ils sont venus à la manifestation. Et si vous regardez, quand ils ont attaqué l'ambassade de France, celui qui a été blessé au pied, que vous voyez dans les manifestations qu'on avait prises, c'est un colonel-major de l'armée. Donc, les manifestants ne sont pas des gens, des civils qui sont contents, la plupart qui sont contents du régime militaire.
Why are you arguing so? Why so?
Parce que c'est ce que je veux de vous dire. La plupart des manifestants, quand vous regardez même à la télévision, ils ont encore le treillis militaire, le t-shirt militaire. Et celui qui a été blessé à l'ambassade de France le jour où ils ont fait la grande manifestation, parce que la riposte a fait que les gens étaient obligés de tirer des gaz lacrymogènes sur eux. Il y a un qui était blessé au pied, c'était un colonel-major de l'armée. Donc, ça veut dire que la plupart des manifestants, ce sont des éléments, les nouvelles recrues de l'armée qu'ils ont fait sortir. Ça, c'est un premier point. Le deuxième point, sachez que le Niger compte 8 régions.
Right.
Parmi les 8 régions, c'est uniquement Niamey où il y a eu des manifestants. Dans toutes les capitales, c'est l'opposition qui est forte en Afrique. Principalement au Niger, l'opposition est très forte à Niamey. Donc, ils ont fait sortir les militants de l'opposition. Le parti politique de l'opposition, du leader Hama Amadou qui est à Paris actuellement, il a écrit une lettre pour demander à ces gens de sortir pour soutenir la manifestation. Donc voilà la manifestation de Niamey. Mais quand vous regardez les médias, quand vous regardez les télévisions, vous voyez que dans tous les pays, dans toutes les autres régions, nos gens ont manifesté, y compris à Niamey, où ils ont été tirés à balles réelles.
So basically the point the former chief of staff is making is that we should disregard what is happening on the televisions as we see it, and also making the point that what we have is that the military is just inviting people to create the impression
military
as
people.
though they have legitimacy, but they do not have legitimacy based on what we're seeing on the screens, and that they are just bringing their cronies and bringing people who align with them to fill the stadium. So we shouldn't believe what we're seeing on the television. Beyond that, the second point is that Niamey is the smallest region out of the 8 regions that we have in the Republic of Niger, except to say that when you take a look at all of the regions in the Republic of Niger, Niamey is the smallest, although it is the capital. Now that side has a lot of support from the opposition political parties, and we had leading figures of the opposition political parties that incited the public against President Mohamed Bazoum, a reason for which it is creating the impression as though nationally there is support for the military, except to say that in the capital, as we speak, they do not have support or legitimacy. So that's the point you're making. Now ECOWAS says that they want to go in and to intervene in this military regime or coup d'etat that we've seen in the Republic of Niger. There is a question as to whether or not you believe in that intervention. Lots of criticisms against the decision to intervene. Do you support that move as, you know, someone who's worked closely with President Mohamed Bazoum? Do you feel that force is the way to do this, by ECOWAS deploying a force to deal with this?
Merci pour cette question. Déjà, la première chose que je vais vous dire, la CEDEAO a pris ces mesures pas de gaieté de cœur. Et c'est des mesures légitimes et légales. La CEDEAO, dans sa constitution, dans ses statuts et ses règlements, prévoit l'usage de la force en cas de renversement d'un régime démocratiquement élu. Donc la CEDEAO a bien, et dans son rôle, en imposant des sanctions contre la junte et aussi en brandissant la menace d'utilisation de la force. Ce qui est tout à fait normal parce que, comme je le disais, ça fait partie des statuts. Aujourd'hui, si la junte abandonne son projet de prendre le pouvoir par la force, la CEDEAO va abandonner toutes les sanctions et la force ne sera pas utilisée. Mais comme vous le constatez, ici, la CEDEAO est prête à intervenir et ce n'est pas de la blague. Ceux qui doutent, je crois qu'à partir de cet instant, doivent arrêter de douter et savoir que la CEDEAO est très sérieuse et que si la junte ne revient pas sur son projet de renverser le régime démocratiquement élu, l'intervention aura lieu comme ça a eu lieu déjà dans plus de 4 pays. Il y a eu la Gambie, il y a eu la Côte d'Ivoire, il y a eu Sierra Leone, il y a eu le Libéria. Donc ce n'est pas pour la première fois que la CEDEAO va intervenir. Et j'aimerais profiter de votre antenne aussi pour dire à ceux qui pensent que c'est une guerre contre le Niger, ce n'est pas une guerre contre le Niger. De la même façon que le coup d'État n'est pas une opération militaire compliquée, le contre-coup d'État de la CEDEAO aussi ne sera pas une opération militaire compliquée ou bien une guerre contre le Niger. Il n'y aura pas de guerre contre le Niger. La CEDEAO va intervenir et je peux vous assurer qu'il n'y aura aucune victime, que ce soit civile ou militaire. Ils vont abandonner leur projet.
Okay. My colleague Winston Amoa is also listening in. Winston, you want to come in now to explain what he said? my colleague Winston Amwa, but basically, just to break down some of the issues that the former chief of staff has been talking about. He's making the point basically that in terms of the military intervention from ECOWAS, we need to acknowledge the fact, first of all, that there is a framework or a legal regime under which ECOWAS operates. ECOWAS has a statute which binds all countries, and that statute permits for the defense of the democracy of all other countries. And so based on that, they believe that ECOWAS has the right to intervene, first of all, in the situation. There's a second point about precedents, and the point he's making about precedents is that ECOWAS has done that before by going into some other territories, by, of course, intervening in some destabilization situations in the sub-region. So this is the reason for which they believe that ECOWAS does have, the right to go in. So let's